Wow, the AI world is abuzz right now, and for good reason.
Yeah.
This Chinese AI model, Deepseek, kind of came out of nowhere, and it seems like everyone's trying to figure out what's going on.
Yeah, it has been quite a shakeup.
It has. I mean, OpenAI has been dominating the headlines for so long that it's understandable that DeepSeek's sudden appearance and with such impressive capabilities has kind of caught a lot of people off guard.
And with such impressive capabilities on what seems like a shoestring budget.
Yeah. Even Andrej Karpathy, one of the founders of OpenAI, called DeepSeek's budget a joke in a recent post.
Yeah.
So it's got everyone talking, so what's got everyone so surprised?
Well, for starters, DeepSeek's performance benchmarks are right up there with the big players like OpenAI, Anthropic, and even Meta. But what's really turning heads is that they achieved this using way less computing power.
So it's not just that it's good, it's that they did it with such efficiency.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm intrigued. What's the secret?
It's a combination of ingenuity and smart engineering. Remember, Chinese researchers have been dealing with U.S. sanctions limiting their access to top-tier AI chips, so they've had to get creative.
All that makes sense.
Yeah.
Necessity is the mother of invention, right?
Exactly. And they've come up with some innovative solutions. For example, instead of relying on brute force computing, DeepSeek utilizes what are called pipeline algorithms.
Mm-hmm.
Think of it like a highly coordinated assembly line where each step is optimized to seamlessly flow into the next sprint. This minimizes wasted resources and speeds up the whole process.
Okay, so they streamline the process, but how does that translate to like concrete numbers? How much faster and cheaper is DeepSeek compared to, say, Meta's Llama 3?
DeepSeek trained their latest model, Deepseek V3, in just 2 months, using 2,048 NVIDIA H800 GPUs. That's roughly 2.8 million GPU hours, costing them about $5.6 million. Now, Llama 3 took 54 days, using a whopping 16,384 H100 GPUs. We're talking about 30.8 million GPU hours. That's more than 11 times the computing power and likely a significantly larger budget.
Wow, so DeepSeek basically built a comparable model at a fraction of the cost and time. That's crazy. And they did it with like limited hardware.
They did.
It's got to have implications beyond just this one model, right?
Absolutely. It's a game changer. And what's even more remarkable is that DeepSeek has chosen to make its model and the training data known as weights open source. They're basically inviting the global AI community to examine their work, collaborate, and build upon it. This is a stark contrast to the closed approach of companies like OpenAI.
That's incredibly generous, but is there a strategic angle to this openness?
Oh, likely, yes. By making their technology open source, DeepSeek can potentially accelerate its development. Think of it like crowdsourcing innovation. More eyes on the can mean more opportunities to spot bugs, improve efficiency, and discover new applications. It's a bold move that could pay off big time.
So DeepSeek is faster, cheaper, and open for everyone to tinker with. Before we get into how it compares to Chatgpt, I'm curious about the technology itself. What can you tell us about DeepSeek V3 and what it can do?
DeepSeek V3 is what's known as a mixture of experts or MOE model. Imagine it like having different teams of specialists within the AI, each trained to handle a specific task. Depending on the problem, the appropriate team or expert is activated. This modular approach allows for greater efficiency and adaptability. They've also implemented advanced techniques like limiting communication between processing nodes to reduce computational overhead.
Okay, that makes sense. So they're not only efficient in their training process,
Yeah.
but also in how the model itself operates. But the big question everyone's asking is, how does it stack up against the reigning champ, Chatgpt?
That is the question, isn't it? While DeepSeek may not yet match the sheer scale and reasoning capabilities of OpenAI's most advanced models like GPT-4, its emergence has definitely put OpenAI on notice. The playing field is leveling.
So it's not quite a David versus Goliath situation, but there's definitely a new challenger in the ring.
Exactly. And DeepSeek has some key advantages. Remember that YouTube video we talked about where a user compared DeepSeek and ChatGPT on a murder mystery scenario? ChatGPT was able to clearly articulate its reasoning while DeepSeek struggled a bit. This indicates that DeepSeek might still have some work to do in terms of complex reasoning tasks.
That makes sense. You're not going to dethrone a champion overnight. But as impressive as ChatGPT is, it's not exactly accessible to everyone, is it?
That's another area where DeepSeek might have an edge. Their API calls, which allow developers to integrate the AI into their applications, are significantly cheaper than OpenAI's or Anthropic's. This, combined with their open source approach, could make DeepSeek a much more attractive option for developers and businesses looking for cost-effective and transparent AI solutions.
So DeepSeek is shaking things up both in terms of its technological achievements and its business model. Where does this leave OpenAI? Are they in trouble?
It's too early to say if DeepSeek is a true threat to OpenAI, but it's definitely a wake-up call. The AI landscape is evolving rapidly, and DeepSeek has shown that innovation can come from unexpected places.
Well, I'm definitely hooked. This is getting interesting. What else can you tell us about this new kid on the block?
One of the most interesting things about DeepSeek is that its team has been remarkably upfront about their goals. They're not just aiming to build a better language model, they want to democratize access to AI, particularly for those who speak Asian languages.
That's fascinating. It seems like most of the big AI players have been primarily focused on English and a handful of other Western languages.
Exactly. And that leaves a huge portion of the world's population underserved. DeepSeek's emphasis on Asia languages is a significant step towards making AI more inclusive and globally relevant.
So DeepSeek could be a game changer, not just in terms of technology, but also in terms of cultural impact.
Absolutely. It has the potential to bridge linguistic divides and empower individuals and communities that have been traditionally marginalized in the AI space.
That's a powerful idea. It seems like DeepSeek is challenging the status quo on multiple fronts. What do you think the long-term implications of this could be for the AI landscape as a whole?
It's hard to say for sure, but I think we're seeing a shift towards a more multipolar AI ecosystem. For a long time, the US has been seen as the undisputed leader in AI research and development. But with the rise of DeepSeek and other initiatives coming out of China, it's clear that the balance of power is shifting.
So we're moving away from a world where a handful of American companies dictate the direction of AI development.
Precisely. We're entering an era where innovation can come from anywhere, and that's incredibly exciting. It means more competition, more diversity of thought, and ultimately a faster pace of progress.
That sounds like a win for everyone involved. But doesn't this also raise concerns about potential misuse of this technology, especially with multiple countries vying for dominance in the AI space?
It's a valid concern and one that we need to address proactively. As AI becomes more powerful and more widespread, it's crucial that we establish clear ethical guidelines and international collaborations to ensure its responsible development and deployment.
That makes sense. We can't just let the AI arms race spiral out of control without considering the potential consequences. But focusing on the positive for a moment, what are some of the most exciting possibilities that this multipolar AI landscape opens up?
One of the most promising areas is in scientific research. Imagine teams from around the world collaborating on AI-powered solutions to pressing global challenges like climate change, disease outbreaks, and poverty.
It's almost like a global brain working together to solve humanity's biggest problems.
Exactly. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. We're also likely to see a surge in innovation across various industries, from healthcare and education to finance and manufacturing.
So DeepSeek's emergence, while unexpected, could actually be a catalyst for positive change on a global scale.
I believe so. It's a reminder that human ingenuity knows no boundaries, and that by working together, we can harness the power of AI to create a better future for everyone.
That's a hopeful thought.
No.
But let's be realistic, competition is still a major driving force in this field. So how do you see the rivalry between US-based AI companies and those from China playing out?
It's bound to be a complex and dynamic relationship. There will be areas of cooperation where researchers and companies from both sides share knowledge and resources to advance the field as a whole. But there will also be areas of intense competition where each side strives to gain a technological edge.
There's a bit of a dance between collaboration and competition.
Exactly. And it's important to remember that this isn't a zero-sum game. The advancements made by one side can often benefit the other, and ultimately the global AI community as a whole benefits from this dynamic interplay.
That's a good point. Competition can breed innovation, and ultimately everyone wins if we're all pushing each other to be better. But knowing that China has made such strides with DeepSeek, what does this mean for individuals like our listener who want to stay ahead of the curve in this rapidly evolving landscape?
That's a great question, and one that I think we should all be asking ourselves. First and foremost, it's crucial to stay informed. Keep up with the latest developments in AI research and development, both domestically and internationally. Don't just focus on what's happening in Silicon Valley. Pay attention to the exciting work being done in places like Beijing, Shenzhen, and Bangalore.
So expand your horizons and don't limit yourself to a single source of information.
Exactly. Read articles, listen to podcasts, and engage in online discussions to get a broader perspective. It's also important to be willing to learn and adapt. The field of AI is constantly evolving, and the skills that are in demand today might be different tomorrow. So embrace lifelong learning, stay curious, and be prepared to pivot your knowledge and expertise as needed.
It sounds like good advice for just about any field these days. But specifically for AI, what are some key areas that you think people should be focusing on to stay ahead of the game?
One area that's becoming increasingly important is understanding the ethical implications of AI. As AI systems become more sophisticated and integrated into our lives, it's crucial that we consider the potential impact on society, the economy, and our personal lives. Think about issues like bias and algorithms, job displacement due to automation, and the potential for AI to be used for malicious purposes.
It's not just about the technology itself, but about how we use it and the impact it has on our world.
Exactly. Another important area to focus on is understanding the intersection of AI with other emerging technologies such as blockchain, the Internet of Things, and quantum computing.
So it's about seeing the bigger picture and how AI fits into the broader technological landscape.
Precisely. The most exciting innovations often happen at the intersection of different fields. So be curious, explore new ideas, and don't be afraid to step outside of your comfort zone.
That's great advice. I think we've covered a lot of ground here today, from the technical aspects of DeepSeek to the broader implications of a multipolar AI landscape. What are your final thoughts for our listener as we wrap up this discussion?
Well, my final thought would be this. Don't underestimate human ingenuity.
Yeah.
Regardless of where it comes from, Deepseek is a perfect example of how innovation can emerge from unexpected places, challenging the established order and pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
It's a good reminder that we're living in a truly globalized world,
Mhm.
and the future of AI will be shaped by contributions from diverse individuals and cultures.
Exactly. And as we move forward, I think it's important to embrace this diversity, to foster collaboration and communication across borders, and to approach the development and deployment of AI with a sense of shared responsibility and a commitment to ethical principles.
It's not about one country or company winning the AI race. It's about harnessing the collective intelligence of humanity to solve our most pressing challenges and create a better future for everyone.
Yeah, I couldn't have said it better myself. The future of AI is ultimately up to us, the choices we make, the collaborations we forge, and the values we prioritize.
So to our listener, as you navigate this exciting and rapidly evolving landscape, remember to stay curious, stay informed, and stay engaged. The AI revolution is happening now, and it's an invitation to participate, to learn to create, and to shape the future we want to see.
And never underestimate the power of a good question. Keep asking, keep exploring, and never stop learning.
That's fantastic advice. This has been a really eye-opening discussion. Thanks for joining us and sharing your insights.
It's been my pleasure.
And to our listener, thank you for joining us on this journey into the world of AI.